everyone, my name is Eric Hopkins, aka JEL, and welcome back to the Dragon's Den. So this is my WWE Weekly Recap that you can usually find here on the channel on Tuesday mornings. So let's get into it real quick here. I'll be covering a little bit of SmackDown, NXT if it's relevant, and then of course Monday Night Raw from this week. We're leading up to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the Yeet in the Bank as it is, so to speak, with Jey Uso, who has officially qualified for the Money in the Bank. I just wanted to point this out real quick here that I really think that we should be giving WWE their props and their flowers right now, because they've been booking some great professional wrestling when it comes to the qualifying triple threat matches that they're having for these spots in the Money in the Bank ladder matches at these shows. So this has been quality entertainment because these wrestling matches have been pretty good top to bottom, all things considered. Not to mention, it's just it adds an element of surprise when you don't know who's going to win, because the level of talent that they have in these qualifying matches have been off the charts. And I think they're going to continue that going into the pay-per-view coming up a week from Saturday. And not only that, they got a lot of qualifying matches going on this week as well as following week leading up into the pay-per-view. But already qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder matches, we've got Jey Uso, Io Sky, previously qualified. And then this week, we got Andrade, Chelsea Green, and Carmelo Hayes qualified on SmackDown, as well as Chad Gable and Lyra Valkyria qualified on Monday Night Raw. So these ladder matches always deliver on these pay-per-views, which is why Money in the Bank is one of the top-level pay-per-views of the calendar year in WWE. So yeah, I'm looking forward to all these matches. I can't wait to see who officially qualifies. Friday night SmackDown kicked off with CM Punk, who was in his hometown of Chicago. And of course, he was talking about how he screwed over Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle in Scotland. And of course, he was doing a little bit of bragging in regards to that. And that, of course, brought out Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman confronted his good friend CM Punk. For those of you who don't remember, Paul Heyman used to manage CM Punk when he was in WWE before he managed Roman Reigns. And of course, he also has managed many others throughout his tenure, including Brock Lesnar, as many of you know, and The Big Show. But CM Punk was one of the guys he did mentor a little bit here. And of course, he come up to CM Punk and was basically just, he was frazzled. He was very upset about how things are going with the current bloodline under Solo Sikoa. You can clearly tell that Paul Heyman is not comfortable in this situation. And Paul Heyman is doing a really great job of just selling the storyline in the absence of Roman Reigns. If it's not for him, this bloodline storyline would not be nearly as good as it is. Paul Heyman is just absolutely great at everything he does here. And of course, this simple hug to CM Punk, it just really showed how much he just really wants someone to help him here, that he's terrified for his life and what the bloodline will do, because he feels like they don't have any control about them without Roman Reigns at the reign. So yeah, this was absolutely well done. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where this continues to go with Paul Heyman and the bloodline. They had a little bit of a thing here a little bit later on, but we'll get into that here in just a little bit. After this, though, not too long into the show, we had Drew McIntyre finally caught up to CM Punk and laid him out on a garage door here at the Allstate Arena. And then he kind of drug his carcass out to the ringside area here, and he brought him out onto the ramp. And we clearly saw there that he was busted open. This is more blood than AEW has done in probably a good month. So WWE is definitely laying the blood on in certain situations. And I think it works very well for the company if you use it sparingly. Yeah, so this was really well done. Again, it was just a little bit of poetic justice that CM Punk screwed over Drew McIntyre in Scotland. So Drew McIntyre destroyed CM Punk in his hometown of Chicago. So yes, this is very good storytelling. This is excellent. I can't wait to see these two guys finally go nose to nose. My assumption is going to be it's going to be at SummerSlam. I'm assuming CM Punk is close to returning. They're probably going to write him off for a few more weeks with this injury angle here. And then Drew McIntyre is probably going to try to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match. My assumption is he's probably going to qualify for that. And maybe Punk costs him that yet again, which would be like the third time Punk's gotten involved with his championship opportunities here. So yeah, this could be very good, and it could lead into a big blood feud match at SummerSlam. On Monday Night Raw, jumping ahead just a little bit, Drew McIntyre showed that he had taken a bracelet that belonged to CM Punk that's got his wife AJ Lee's name on there, as well as his dog Larry, which is widely known in the wrestling community. So yeah, I mean, this is again just adding to the storytelling, and Drew McIntyre put it around his wrist. So yeah, this is going to be absolutely personal when these two guys finally lock horns, and I cannot wait to see this match. As I mentioned a little bit later on SmackDown, Solo Sikoa pulled Paul Heyman aside and was again kind of, questioning his loyalties a little bit after he went out there and hugged CM Punk and was asking CM Punk for help and wanting to leave with CM Punk. Solo Sikoa just kind of pulled him inside and says, "Hey, just so you know," because Paul was trying to say that Roman Reigns would not allow this, and just Solo Sikoa is breaking all these codes and rules and things. And Solo said, Roman isn't coming back. Roman, I've talked to him since WrestleMania. He's not returning. So, and that stunned the hell out of Paul Heyman, because now he's terrified, because he thought that Roman Reigns could eventually come back and maybe be his saving grace here, but that's not going to happen apparently. So, yeah, Paul Heyman is a little bit terrified. Now, I do think that Roman Reigns is going to be returning at some point here. We're going to get Solo Sikoa's bloodline against Roman Reigns' bloodline, potentially at Survivor Series and War Games. I hope that's what they end up doing. I've been saying that for a while here, if you've been following me for any length of time. But yeah, that's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, possibly another member. It could be The Rock. The Rock could be revealed as the leader of this group, maybe at SummerSlam or something to that effect. And then you could have Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jey Uso getting back together with Sami Zayn, and maybe you can get like a Hikuleo or like a Zilla or somebody like that out on the independents and stuff. So yeah, this could be absolutely great, and we could have a great 5-on-5. You could just do 4-on-4, but I think War Games usually works best with 5-on-5. So we'll see what they do, but I'm absolutely looking forward to it, and this is the absolute right direction. And I can't wait to see where they take this into SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, and then leading into WrestleMania. As I mentioned, Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu finally debuted here on Monday Night Raw to join Solo Sikoa and his Bloodline 2.0 here. Solo Sikoa was kind of cornered by Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes. And that is when Jacob Fatu appeared out of nowhere and absolutely destroyed everybody, including Cody Rhodes. They laid out Cody Rhodes on the announce table on the outside, and Jacob Fatu jumped off the top and absolutely destroyed Cody Rhodes. And even Cody Rhodes, I guess, over the weekend in a live events, was talking about how he broken a couple ribs on this spot. So now I think he's okay. I think he was just kind of playing it up as a storyline. But at the same time, this is absolutely great. And I'm loving that Cody Rhodes is still playing it through, even on the house show that's not televised. So that's absolutely outstanding, too. And of course, the show on SmackDown ended with the new debut of Jacob Fatu, acknowledging the bloodline here. And even Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa kind of looked like they didn't even quite know this was going to be happening. So Solo Sikoa is definitely a loose cannon right now. He's definitely a wild card, and basically whatever he says goes. And so yeah, this is intriguing storytelling. I know some people are not into it as much as when Roman Reigns was there, but you know what? This is going to culminate in something that is absolutely outstanding. So I just preach patience on this one, and hope you guys wait to see where they go with it. And of course, in the short term, we are going to be getting a 6-man tag match at Money in the Bank in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, a week from Saturday at Money in the Bank on July 6th. It's Cody, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens against 3 members of the Bloodline. My assumption is Solo, Tama Tonga, and maybe Jacob Fatu, but it could be like a thing where Solo Sikoa stays out of this, and it's just like the Tongans against Jacob Fatu, and maybe Solo Sikoa just stays out of it and kind of just watches like the supposed tribal chief he thinks he is. So we'll just have to wait and see where this goes. But yeah, this is an absolutely great match to add to that stellar Money in the Bank card so far. Switching over to Monday Night Raw now, Chad Gable did officially qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, but he is realizing now that after he got destroyed by the Wyatt family, or the Wyatt Six, last week to end Monday Night Raw, that he definitely needs some help. So he was trying to recruit the Alpha Academy once again, but Otis said, we met last week when we said we're done. So yeah, I guess he's not going to get any help from the Alpha Academy, but that's when the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile walked up, and Chad Gable's like, I need help. So this is just another little tease that Triple H likes to do of things that are going to be coming down the line here. And this is going to be your new Alpha Academy. And this makes absolute sense. And I cannot wait to see what they do with Chad Gable moving forward. And it sounds like he's going to be getting into the Money in the Bank ladder match. And I think he could possibly win it, but I got a feeling they're probably going to maybe be giving it to Jey Uso. We'll have to wait and see, but I would love to see them put the briefcase on Chad Gable here. So we got a segment where Chad Gable, as he was leaving for the Money in the Bank qualifying match, he was approached by what I believe is Nikki Cross, who is in the Carrie outfit. I don't know if she's officially being called like Abigail or anything like that yet, but anyway, yeah, she approached him, and she gave a cardboard box to Michael Cole at ringside with a VHS tape that was in it, which Michael Cole references about 25 years old at this point. He hasn't seen one of these in forever. For all you kids out there, this is like a big giant cassette tape that we used to watch movies on. So this was absolutely great. And I guess he sent it off to the truck. And while the video was played, we got this video with the Wyatt Six stable being way more tied to reality than expected. One of the more chilling promos ever on WWE programming. Bo Dallas emulated the spirit of Bray Wyatt almost perfectly in this VHS promo. Amazing usage of the horror concept. I also love that Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy being one and the same is now canon. That has to mean the same for the other members too. This is definitely a great storytelling, and I have no idea exactly where this is going, but I am definitely ready to see where it goes. And I think this is going to be outstanding. It was just great because they flat out, Uncle Howdy just flat out asked Bo Dallas, how do you feel that you're, just kind of ruining your brother's legacy? And he talked about how much his brother meant to him. Again, it just tied in the Bray Wyatt element of this. They did it respectfully. They weren't doing anything to tarnish his legacy or tarnish the memory of Bray Wyatt or anything like that. It was just very well done, I thought, and it just kind of established, all these characters, or at least in Uncle Howdy's case, they flat out told you who he was, and it's just going to play into things going down the line, and I think this is absolutely great, and it's absolutely respectful, and it's going to be a great thing to see Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda's real life brother, carrying this on in the future, as we've talked about here on the channel on the Dragon's Den podcast. And I mentioned it last week on my Monday Night Raw recap as well. So, yeah, this is great. Can't wait to see what they do with it. Can't wait to see what their first feud's going to be with. No other members of the Wyatt Six showed up tonight, so that's a little intriguing. But I'm sure we'll be getting more about that. It's just kind of the getting the ball rolling a little bit here, and just kind of letting everybody know what they're getting started here. So, yeah, this is going to be great, and I can't wait to see it. We got Damian Priest out in the ring. Despite all the stuff that's going on with Judgment Day, he decided to confront Seth Rollins tonight, who was looking his crazy dressed self out here for sure. But he mentioned WWE going to be doing Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and SummerSlam in Indianapolis, Indiana, which I'm excited about. Go check out my thoughts about that on the channel as well in a separate video under my wrestling playlist. But obviously we're getting Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank on July 6th here for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Seth Rollins decided in this promo, why don't we up the ante a little bit, like a gentleman's wager, as it were. He said if he does not win, he doesn't get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship again. And if Damian Priest loses, he leaves Judgment Day. So with this new stipulation, I highly expect to see Damian Priest lose the World Heavyweight title here to Seth Rollins, setting up Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And Gunther also walked out at the end of this promo to kind of just, wish the best man, made the best man win, so to speak. And of course, he challenges the winner of this at SummerSlam. So it would make sense for Gunther to challenge a babyface champion. Now, Damian Priest is not a full-blown babyface yet. I think if he was to lose this match and leave Judgment Day, he will become a babyface at some point here. But that's clearly where I think they're going. I think Damian Priest drops the title here after a solid run for the first-time World Heavyweight Champion here in Damian Priest. But I think Seth Rollins is probably, unfortunately, they're going to hot potato the title to him so Gunther can beat him at SummerSlam, which I'm not sure how I really feel about hot potatoing the title just to give it to Gunther. But at the same time, I understand why you want to sell the match Gunther versus Seth Rollins, because obviously I think that does sell more tickets on the marquee. But at the same time, we'll just have to wait and see what they do. But you could do Damian Priest versus Gunther. We'll have to see what they do. But if that's the case, Seth Rollins won't be getting another World Heavyweight Championship match, I'm assuming, while Damian Priest is champion, not ever. But yeah, so we'll see what they do. Can't wait to see this match. This match could be a banger for sure at the pay-per-view. Monday Night Raw, mostly comprised of Liv Morgan, absolutely causing chaos with the Judgment Day and everybody she gets in contact with. She's still trying to get under the skin of Dominic Mysterio. She's still flirting with Finn Balor. She's walking out of dressing rooms that Finn Balor was in tonight. So yeah, and now that after that, she approached R-Truth. And she pretty much tricked R-Truth into signing up the Awesome Truth for a tag team title match in the main event against Finn Balor and JD McDonough. And of course, R-Truth being the lovable moron that he is, he actually falls for it here. During this tag team title match here that Miz really didn't have any time to prep for because he was on commentary for the first hour of the show, Liv Morgan eventually kind of suckered R-Truth in for a hug, and that's what she gave this, creepy stare. She stuck the proverbial knife in R-Truth's back, and that caused a distraction that allowed Finn Balor and JD McDonough to win the World Tag Team Championships here on Monday Night Raw. And we now have new champions, and Liv Morgan's obviously maniacally laughing as this is going on. So again, just everything that's going on between Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. And of course, she wants to rub it into Rhea Ripley and all this sort of stuff while she's gone. This is great to have all these different storytelling aspects kind of interweave together with Liv Morgan, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and of course, obviously the aforementioned Damian Priest possibly leaving the group at some point. This could be very well done, and I can't wait to see where this all goes. But I really love what WWE is doing right now. WWE is doing a lot of great storytelling. WWE storytelling has greatly improved as of late. The wrestling has also improved. So we've got a lot of good things coming up for WWE here. I'm actually excited for WWE for the first time in a long time, even during their summer lull. I mean, obviously, we all know that the WrestleMania season is always going to be great, but usually after WrestleMania for the next couple months before SummerSlam, a lot of times their storytelling is not real great during the summer, and even they've had a little bit of a down point here and there over the last couple months or so, but it's starting to heat back up again. King of the Ring was a success, and if you could lead that into SummerSlam and continue to build all this stuff out to where all these shows mean things, including during their low times of the year, during the summer, and even in the fall, leading into Survivor Series, and in the winter, sometimes it kind of gets a little sluggish too. But once you get into Royal Rumble, obviously everything ramps up. But if you can actually start to build this out to where things start to have meaning during the entire calendar year, it's going to be a great thing for WWE. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for WWE? Everything they've been doing on their television, from Raw, SmackDown, and including NXT as well. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And until my next video, guys, take care and God bless.